It is so nice to receive some wise words every day, isn't it? But what do you need to know? First, a little bit of JavaScript. And second, an understanding of how API works. And don't worry if you don't know these. I will give you a reference for each. So let's start. The first service we need is called Twilio. It's a service to make or receive phone calls and text messages. With Twilio, we can send message to our phone number. So first go ahead and sign up. And next fill out this form with your information. I already have an account, so I'm going to log in. You kidding me, right? Node.js it is. We want to receive SMS. Here we should get a number to send ourselves text. Now let's find out how to do the fun part, I mean code. It is exactly what we want. It is the code we need to send our message. Now it's time to look for a quote API. If you don't know what is API, I highly recommend watching this coding train playlist. I will link to it in the description. But for now, consider it as a bunch of data, which is collected by someone, and it is also available for us to use. Next we should connect our code to API and get quotes. As you can see, here we have a nice instruction on how to do that. So let's test this out. It is a list of 1643 objects. Let's look at one of them. It is an object with two properties, text and author. Okay, time to code. First, create your main JavaScript file. I am going to name it app.js. Next, initialize an npm package. This is not necessary, but it is a good practice for keeping our project and its packages organized. Now we need two variables. One, account SID. Copy it from your dashboard. Second variable is auth token. Also copy and paste this one. Oops, they should be a string. Now go ahead and install Twilio package. Next, include it in your code. Usually, the default JavaScript fetch API would work, but because we want to run the code with Node.js, we should install another package called Node Fetch. Also, include Node Fetch package. Now, I'm creating a function to call it whenever I want to send a message. But first, we should pass the account SID and auth token to the Twilio variable we have initialized earlier. After that, could you remember how many objects the quote API had? Exactly. Each time this function called, we want to randomly pick one of these quotes. And because they are 1643 in total, the minimum is 0, and the maximum is 1643. What you need to know next is how to use asynchronous functionality in JavaScript. If you are not familiar, I highly recommend this video from Tyler McGinnis. I will link to it in the description. Let's create another variable and name it response. Now with the help of fetch function, we can get the data as JSON. Here, because we are sending a request and don't know how long does it takes to get back with a response, we have to write a wait right before calling fetch function to make JavaScript aware of it and stop executing the rest of the program until the result becomes available. Now we have the data we want, but it is in JSON format. So let's create a variable called data and translate JSON to JavaScript, which we can work with. Also, For a function to be able to have a wait keyword in it, we should add the async keyword. It is better to put our code in a try-catch block in case of any error. Next, let's pick a random number between the minimum and maximum we have. But how to do that? It's the code for getting a random integer between two values. Exactly what we want. And finally return that lucky quote. We also need another function to create our message. Get a quote object and store it in a variable. Now we need to write a body for message. Quote of the day. Quote text and quote author. And finally let's create the message. And this is the code we need. But don't forget the await keyword. Replace the default body with our own body. And from with the number Twilio gave us. And 2 with your actual number. Next, log a message for when it ends successfully. And the catch part. Also log any error. And let's change these is to error. That's it. Let's call the function. And now, I am going to run the code with Node. Check your messages. And hear your first quote. This one should also be an error. Next, we need a server for running the program every day. There are plenty of services out there, which you can buy a VPS. Services like DigitalOcean, Amazon AWS, and so on. Remember, you can do these following steps on your local computer too, but it should be on when the program is about to execute. My server operating system is Linux Ubuntu. As you can see, I have moved all of my files to my server. You can move your files too, with a program like FileZilla. Next, let's copy our current path. We are going to need it in a second. I want the program to be executed every day at 8 a.m. For that, I should set a cron job. Cron is a Unix job scheduler. 0 minutes, 8 hours, every day of month, every month, and every day of week. Go to this path and run app.js. Save the file and exit. That was it. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and let me know what project do you like to be implemented in the next video. Thanks for watching.